we've ever had somebody from every school involved in 21st century learning and educational technology in the same place at once, ever in the history of our district. So this is really exciting. We're really, really excited to get this 21st Century Learning Leaders Network going, and we really appreciate you for being willing to be a part of it. We know you've given up, many of you have given up instructional time to be here. We appreciate you prepping for subs and all that kind of stuff, and we know how much of a sacrifice that is. So we are working very hard to make sure this is valuable time for you as we move forward in the district with a vision for what 21st century learning will look like throughout the district. So thank you so much for being here. A couple of housekeeping items just to begin with. If you are wanting wireless, which of course we all do these days, it's kind of fairly low down on Maslow's hierarchy these days. If you need wireless, we have guest wireless in this room, and we'll be here for most of the day. The guest Wi-Fi code is right there, so most of you are probably already looked into that. In the auditorium or the theater where we'll be from 10 to noon, that is also equipped with guest Wi-Fi, but it also has district Wi-Fi in there. So if you've got a district machine, you can hook in through your district machine as well. If you are having a sub today, we are paying for your subs. So just a reminder that if you haven't turned your form in over here where Sherry's waiting, if you could do that sometime this morning, that would be fantastic. I'm sure you're all familiar with where the restrooms are, just down the hallway here, right across from the office, over to your left. Other thing is, if you did not get copies of the handouts, I think there are 3 handouts. One is the 21st Century Competency one-pager. Go ahead and grab that. And you'll need that throughout the day as well to refer to. There's also a list of everybody who's here. And this is something that, because we're intending this to be a network of leaders, we want you all to have contact information for everybody that's here. And then finally, the bingo sheet. You'll learn all about that later. Another thing, housekeeping, is that we have laptop carts in the back there. So if you do not have a device, we had promised you that we have some available here. So right in the back there, feel free to grab one of those to use throughout the day if you need that. Just be aware that they are apparently brand new and have not even been booted up yet. So it may take a few minutes to boot those up. And thank you so much to Jay Salter for providing those. And also thank you to Spanish Springs High School for agreeing to host this. It's quite a disruption for...
The login is 14, SSHS 14.
Okay. The login on those is student 14, password SSHS 14. So student 14, SSHS 14. The other thing is briefly, now we know that there isn't a lot of tweeting going on in the district, but you'll probably hear a lot more about that from us over time. And let me refresh that. So what we've got here is this is TweetDeck, and this is a Twitter feed that we'll be trying to keep throughout the day. So if you tweet, or if you would like to start tweeting, please feel free to do that with the hashtag WCSD21, and anything you tweet will show up there. So throughout the day, if you are interested in getting on Twitter as a professional learning opportunity for you, please find somebody around here who can help you to do that. Okay, so again, welcome. I'd like to introduce a special guest here who's been really instrumental in getting this network started. Just to say a few words, Roger Gonzalez.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Robert. represented here in this room today. As Robert said earlier, for the first time, we have one representative from every Washoe County School District school present here this morning. As we kick off this wonderful opportunity to bring up the capacity of one individual in each one of our schools to really serve as a conduit of information and as a conduit of helping us to spread the vision of 21st century learning here in Washoe County. These are really exciting times as we move forward this year with this project. So I really am very grateful to Robert and to his staff as they have been working to put all of this together. The department has been working on a technology plan to really lay out the vision for 21st century learning for Washoe County School District. And part of that is beginning today with all of you being present here. It's really exciting as we move forward throughout the next few months with our legislative session to keep an eye on what is happening with technology. I hope some of you had an opportunity to watch the governor's speech, and if you did, you know that he is really advocating that we up the ante on 21st century learning, on integrating technology into our classrooms, on really changing what instruction looks like for our students in the very, very near future. There is really exciting times ahead, but there's also much to do. Each of you were selected because you are seen as learning leaders in 21st century learning and technology integration in your building. So I applaud each of you for being here in the room. I see a lot of familiar faces. It does not surprise me that you are the ones who are representing your building. So thank you so much for this commitment that you are making this morning. We know that with this commitment also is going to come a little bit of work, some responsibilities that are going to share with you a little bit more about, and a commitment to continue to develop your skills and to sharpen your saw around 21st century learning and integrating technology. So with that, I want to turn it back over to Robert and get this day started for you. This is just a beginning, and it's so exciting. Those of us that have been working and planning on this, there's been a steering committee that's been putting this together now for several months, and I want to thank some of those members, I see them around the room as well, who have been giving up their time to really help and to get this underway. Also, I want to thank Spanish Springs High School for hosting us this morning here, and I hope you have a wonderful day here today. And really, this is just the beginning. So I want to turn it back over to Robert. Thank you to all of you for being here, and have a wonderful day.
Thanks, Roger. Would the members of this steering committee who are here please stand? It actually looks like most of them are standing already. But we appreciate your work as we've been preparing this day and this network going forward. So thank you to all of you. If you happen to be sort of networking, I guess, during some of our breaks, anybody with a star on their name tag is a steering committee member. So feel free to talk to them about the process. So I hope that this is how you're feeling today. Because honestly, while we have an idea of where this is going, and obviously the intention of this network is to create a district-wide conversation about 21st century learning, we don't know exactly where it's going to go. And so we feel a bit like you probably do at the moment. We're really excited, and hopefully we can work together moving forward to get this work moving ahead. So you're probably wondering just exactly what this network is about, that's what we need to figure out together, I guess. We're going to be going over sort of the purpose, sort of our initial purposes moving forward with this shortly. But just a couple of other introductions of a few people that you'll need to know if you don't already. First will be way in the back there where he likes to sit would be Ed Gracia, who's my boss. He's Chief Information Officer for Washington County School District. So Thank you for being here. We've already introduced the steering committee. Now I'd like to introduce the 21st Century Learning team. Actually, pardon me, here's the steering committee. Here are the steering committee members, so take a look at those names there. They're already up. Okay, so a couple introductions for the 21st Century Learning team. If you've been to our website, you're probably familiar with these avatars, but we have Tara Graves, Misha Miller, Tina Holland, Sarah Stewart, Doug Taylor, Sherry Dunn, and Mark Stoff. So you'll be getting to know these people much, much better and their precise roles in this work moving forward. All right, one more item here. There are a lot of questions moving forward with this group, and I think there are some really obvious ones out there, like how can we do this without enough technology? So some of these things are things that we'll be dealing with moving forward, and some of them are things that we need to discuss really bluntly, and some of the things are things that we probably want to kind of put in a parking lot for right now to be aware of and thinking about. So if you have questions, if you have concerns, if you have things that you may not want to necessarily raise here today, or that aren't addressed yet, I would really welcome and encourage you to put those concerns and ideas in the parking lot. So really briefly, this is a Padlet, and Tara was explaining to me that I did not customize it appropriately, but so you'll have to type in a few extra characters than you ordinarily would. But feel free to use that throughout the day. And this is what it yeah, Tara will tweet that out as well. I can't seem to alt-tab on that Windows 8 issue. I'm still not quite there with Windows 8, so I apologize for that. But if you go to that website, you'll see the Padlet. All you do is double-click, and you can add a comment, and just continue to do that throughout the day. So we may come back to some of those issues, and we may just leave those in the parking lot for right now. Okay, so why are we here? So let's start with the vision and the purpose of the 21st Century Learning Leaders Network. So, starting with vision, this network, the existence of this network is a goal of the Washington County School District Technology Plan. If you are interested in a little more information about the technology plan, it is posted on the IT website, and Ed will be talking about that later on today, so you'll get a lot more information about that. So that's sort of the mandate, I guess, that creates this group. Another thing is that we really need to be focused on 21st century competency development in connection with the Nevada Academic Content Standards. As we were conceiving this group and thinking about what it needed to be moving forward, there was really strong consensus among the area superintendents, among the steering committee, that this needs to have very strong instructional focus. This is not about technology, this is about instruction and how technology can support instruction, and how 21st century competencies support the Nevada Academic Content Standards and meeting the needs of our students for college and career readiness. So another piece of the vision is that we need to have meaningful technology integration, with the emphasis on the word meaningful, because there are a lot of pitfalls out there for just throwing technology into classrooms, as many of you have probably seen. Just using technology does not necessarily enhance instruction. So that's a conversation that we'll be having in great depth moving forward. Another piece of the vision is that we would like the members of this network to be involved in site technology planning. Specifically, obviously the key place for that is in the school performance planning process. And you'll be hearing later today from Nick and Ron, who are our school performance plan coordinators, and they'll be talking to you a little bit about that process and also where technology fits within that. So you look forward to that. The role of the steering committee, I think we're pretty much already covered, but basically they're here as representatives of the district and schools to work with this network to guide its progress moving forward. So feel free to contact any of them at any time to express any concerns or suggestions or ideas moving forward. Moving into the purpose of the network, that sort of dealt with the vision. The purpose is to help us understand, there's several points here, but help us understand that 21st century learning is not the equivalent of technology. There's a lot of stuff out there, especially online, that really equates technology with 21st century learning. These are not synonymous. Technology supports 21st century competencies. And we'll be learning a lot more about that throughout this network, and also as you take the practitioner badge class, which we'll talk about later on today. Another part of the purpose of this is to create a district-wide conversation and create some collaboration around 21st century instructional practices. So the common language piece is really pretty critical. Moving forward as a district, I hear all the time things like we don't have enough technology to do this, which is a fair comment. But there are steps to take to get to where we can use technology appropriately in our classrooms. And one of the key pieces to that is not to focus too heavily on the technology. So creating a common language around this discussion that's out there so we can inform the district direction is really a critical piece. This network also serves as a support system for those who are in technology, instructional technology and tech support roles. So there are some of you out there who are serving in this role right now in your schools. Many of you would be title funded. Very few are general funded at this point. That's an important role moving forward with technology, because without that support from people who are prepared with the expertise to be technology coaches, but also with the technical background to support the process, it's very difficult in the school. So the intention here, just by the way, is not that you will be that person, but there are many of you represented in this group. This is also a forum for sharing and creating resources and promising practices and expertise. We strongly value the diversity of this group. And so as we have this discussion, the fact that there are many of you out there in very different roles is a really good thing. So do not feel nervous or anxious about, I really haven't had much to do with technology. That's okay, because this is not about technology, this is about learning. And finally, this network, the intention is that this will create a better channel of communication between sites, schools, the 21st Century Learning Division, and the Office of Information Technology. So as we move forward with this, you will be, we hope, not just a conduit, but an active participant in that conversation as we start to communicate more effectively throughout Okay, let's go over briefly some expectations and some opportunities for the network. First thing I kind of already touched on, which is that the diversity of this group is a real strength. We really see that. We considered that moving forward as we asked for your site administrators to select individuals for the network, and realizing that we're going to get a really good mix of people from a lot of different backgrounds, a lot of different instructional backgrounds, a lot of different roles in schools, and that's a really, really positive thing. So I'd like you to consider that as we go forward with this, in recognizing that we've got 100 different ideas here, 100 different frameworks for thinking about this. So we really appreciate that. Another expectation is obviously be here today, which is easy now. And there are 2 other meetings which you have emails on, but just to reiterate this, March 26th will be at TMCC, and May 29th will also be at TMCC. It'll be 2 different rooms there, but we'll get you information on that after this meeting. The other expectation is that you will take the 21st Century Educator Practitioner Badge class. And there are a couple of reasons why we included this. One is that it lays the foundation for that common language around what 21st century learning and 21st century instruction is. So it's a really important piece for you to have that understanding, that common understanding of what 21st century learning looks like in our district, so that we can have a common place to have those discussions. The other piece to that is that it is a model of blended learning. It is not the only model of blended learning. Blended learning looks very different, but it is a model where we are blending online and face-to-face instruction. So you'll be exposed to that. Many of you, of course, already have been exposed to blended learning or fully online experiences. But this is a model that is known to be very effective as a model of instruction. Another expectation is to maintain a focus on the classroom, instruction, kids. This needs to be about kids. And I know that's really easy to say because we're all sitting here as a room full of adults. It's an easy thing for me to say, keep the focus on kids, but we need to think about that with everything that we talk about, everything we do in this network. This is about creating experiences for kids where they can develop competencies that are going to help them to become ready for life. We talk about that nowadays as college and career readiness, but ready to exit our schools and be good people, productive people, effective people. And so if we can maintain a focus on that. And within that, the purpose of the technology is to support and enable learning, and really nothing more. Technology for technology's sake is purposeless. This one's really important. The initial focus of this group is on your own development and on the viability of the network, this network. That is this year's probably overarching goal, is that we develop these common languages around 21st century learning, and that you think about your own development and within your role, within your school. There is not at this point a really solid expectation that you will move forward right now and immediately start impacting your school performance plan process and all of that. That is something that will vary at the moment. We're not expecting you to go back to your school and say, hey, we've got to do this and this and this. That's possible, and that may or may not be a good thing at this point, but that's up to you at this point. We're not expecting this. We've learned this through some previous programs we run, just in the spirit of full disclosure. If you were involved in the 21st Century Learning Academy, one of the things we learned with that was that, you know, we need to focus on you guys first, not on changing your school right away. We know all the research shows that any kind of instructional change, any kind of change in an organization is a 3 to 5 year process at least. So this is not intended to be next year we're going to do something massively different. So the focus is on you, the focus is on others in this group, and then the needs of the school, your school, as that works for you at this point. The other piece here is to inform the direction that the district takes with this. You know, this has got to be an effort that we all make to help create instructional situations for kids, to help create opportunities for them in their education that are going to better prepare them for life, really. And so, you know, as we move forward with policy in the district, with technology acquisition in the district and at schools, with all of these things, with implementing the Common Core standards, the Nevada academic content standards, next generation science standards, all these things that are coming down the pipe or are already here. As we implement these things, this group, it's the intention that this group will inform that discussion and some of that direction. Okay, so I've talked a lot, and today it's actually going to look a little bit different from the other meetings. The very definite intention for this group is that it will be a highly collaborative experience for you guys, for all of us together. Today will not really quite look like that. Part of that is because there's a lot of information to get out, so this is a little bit of information dump. So when we talk about 21st century learning and modeling 21st century learning, in one sense, this is not a great example of that. Me standing here talking to you, and others of us today standing here talking to you. But there's a role for that, and I think that's the key. One of the keys to 21st century learning is knowing when these different kinds of experiences are appropriate. So just know that going forward, that today is going to look a little different from the rest of the network meetings this year and then into next year. All right. So I'm going to pass it off